You want Carol?
Be very careful with Carol.
Hold this, Freddie.
So yeah, practice.
Here's the thing. We're all sort of at that age where some of our friends are getting married, some of our friends are married.
I did it.
I did get married.
I did a cake day.
Kristen, you had a really nice wedding cake.
I sure did.
Yeah, hers was beautiful. Wedding cakes are pretty surprisingly difficult. They usually have to be decorated beautifully, they have to taste good, and they also have to like represent your love. Baking, I feel like really tests the limits of a person's like friendship. And I just think it would be a fun opportunity for all of us because when are we ever gonna get a chance to make such an intricate and high stakes cake? So we have an excellent baker, Jen Fujikawa. She is incredible. She's gonna be our mentor. And yeah, let's make a wedding cake. Great.
Hello.
What's up?
Just like you guys to just get you pumped up. Just take a look in the box. There's some things that should be inspiring, should be fun.
Is it cake?
It is not cake. That would have made sense.
Oh, it's aprons.
Oh my god. Oh.
Freddie, do you bake?
I'll do like a boxed thing where you just add eggs and water.
Sure.
I don't really do anything in the kitchen. I'm just not a kitchen person, but I love cake.
You do.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love to cook, but I don't know much about baking. And baking is scientific, and I am not precise.
Am I a baker? No. And so I tried to make a lemon poppy seed cake, and half of it was uncooked. I bought a bunch tin and everything for it.
Oh no, you're
It's a sign.
Yeah, so let's go bake some cakes.
Woo!
My name is Jen Fujikawa, and I create geeky recipes for the internet. One of the most popular recipes that I've ever made was a Star Wars Wampa Arm cake. And so it was a red velvet cake that was a jelly roll cake filled with jam, and it looked very realistic. Today I'm gonna bake a simple vanilla cake. And when that cake is done, that cake is gonna be used as a base for the ladies to practice some of their skills on. I think what I love about baking most is that it makes people happy. I like making recipes from scratch because I feel like you can put a lot of yourself and a lot of your love and time into the bake. Team 1 is Freddie and Devin, and they'll be making a red velvet cake. Team 2 is Kristen and Chantel, and they're going to be making an horchata cake.
So we found out we were making red velvet, and we kind of came up with a vision.
We have plans.
Plans.
So we really like the naked cake, which is like a trend. We want to do maybe a little bit of piping around the layers and some fruit on top.
That sounds good. So I've kind of drafted up a little mock-up of what
I like the
cake is,
banana.
and there's a banana on the top.
Nice.
Okay,
Perfect.
All right.
give me the sugar.
So we're making your recipe that's an horchata cake, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
The Mexican horchata is what we drink in LA, and it's a rice-based milk with a little bit of cinnamon.
Here's what we were thinking. Maybe some gold leaf. We were also thinking maybe we'd want to pipe in some frosting flowers. We don't really know how hard that is or what that even would look like.
Piping flowers is good. It's a little complicated, and you kind of have a lot going on with the gold. So you could try maybe making fondant flowers.
I'm so excited for this.
It's a real cake.
So am I an artist? No, but am I incredibly attached to this drawing? Yes. So for the gold leaf, I didn't know exactly what that meant, so I just wrote gold in cursive. And then this is our,
Fondant flowers.
yeah, that's the only type of flower I know how to draw.
We can make them look just like that if you like.
We don't have to.
Hi guys, it's time for decorating. And we're gonna start over here with Team Red Velvet, and we're gonna learn how to stack your naked cake and then do some piping. To start your naked cake, you wanna trim the top. So when you bake a cake, it has a little bit of a dome, so you have a very long serrated knife right there. I would go a little bit
Deeper?
A little bit deeper.
Yeah.
It's a little uneven, but
So maybe
so you guys wanted to put some fondant roses on top of these cakes?
Yes.
So the best way to do it is you can just grab this pre-made fondant
It's like Play-Doh, but it's okay if you eat it this time.
Sure. And so you want to kind of roll it flat and thin into a very long rectangle. You're going to take this tool and you're just going to cut out one of those.
Oh, so this is way easier for us than it is for you guys. What the
So what you do is just loosely roll it, and when you keep going and get all the way, you get a rose at the end. And then you kind of pull the edges down, and now we're gonna pipe frosting, and we're just gonna pipe a line around the outside edge. So you're kind of building a dam. Squeeze from the top.
Squeeze from the top.
Yeah.
I don't do this with my toothpaste either.
It's giving me like vintage vibes.
This is so grammable.
Oh, how cute, see?
Yeah. This is Denise. So we made her. She's quite sturdy.
And they don't have to be perfect, because flowers aren't perfect, so.
Flowers aren't.
This is true.
Neither are we.
That's my favorite thing about baking so far. You can cover up your mistakes with frosting.
If only life was that way, you know? Cover up an X with frosting.
Believe me, I've tried.
And then over here for the fondant cake, now you guys can start decorating with all the roses that you've made.
So then do I just stick it on?
Yeah, just kind of shape it on there however you like.
Just shove it in there. Just smack her in.
I'm like a pageant mom for this flower. You will be on a cake and you will win first place.
I've been rolling a little piece of cake in my finger for about 30 minutes.
Ew.
What should we name him?
Are you still holding on to the cake ball? Put it down. It's different colors now. It's like a gray.
Why is it green?
It looks like a booger.
So, any advice, Jen, before we go into tomorrow?
Keep practicing and then sort of do it with confidence. So if you just go for it, I think you'll come out with a better result. Don't be shy.
Don't hold back.
Fondue. Bye.
Follow your dreams.
It's baking day!
Baking day! Yeah!
You think you'll be proud of us when we
Bring your recipes to life.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Complete faith in you.
I mean, is there like a certain part that's like tricky or anything that we should be aware of?
No, I think if you just read through the recipe all the way through and then just follow the steps, you should be fine. I'll be right over there in case you need help. Thanks. Good luck, guys.
Yay, tasty science!
Honestly, one thing she said that I would not have done is read it all the way through before starting.
No, I wouldn't have either.
Yeah. So that's a very valuable tip, and it's one that we should have known. Horchata cake with horchata buttercream.
I'm already skimming.
Yeah, me too.
In a medium bowl, whisk together the cake flour, cocoa powder, secret ingredients, rotating around my friends in the kitchen. Some eat, pray, love shit.
Can I use a free bowl? How
Yeah.
much free bowl?
There are 2 bowls left. Choose your fighter.
Can I just do this? Yeah.
Get it.
For some reason, I like cutting butter. It's kind of like if you were to cut a lipstick open.
Yes, but less expensive.
I don't know how to use mixers.
And then,
There we go.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
All right, so now we need to
feel
add some red dye, but it doesn't tell us how much.
we probably can just sort of eyeball it. It's like, how deeply red do we want our red velvet to be?
Ooh,
I think we should go deep.
Blood red.
Blood red.
Yeah,
The
let's do
color
it.
of love. This is the last time this is gonna look yellow.
Hell yeah.
Wow, it's better. Are we done?
I think so. I feel so accomplished.
I feel whole.
Oh wow, it's really good.
That's a really good recipe, Jen.
Yeah.
That's Jen's recipe, yeah.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for sharing your recipe. It's delicious.
Said I wasn't gonna have any, and now I'm just like demolishing.
You're like, raw eggs, don't do it. And now, Kristen, the time has come
Time is here.
to pour the babies out.
It is satisfying to just let this dump in there.
We're gonna make someone's wedding vows extra special.
So here's the problem. I realized while we were making the second batch of batter that I definitely left baking powder out of our first batch of batter, which is bad because it means the cake won't rise. Sorry, everyone in this room. So we're gonna try to take this batter and put it back in the mixer and add the baking powder and hope that it works.
All right, so our baby cakes are ready for a little heat.
I feel like we're giving our cakes to like child protective services. Cake protective services, take our cakes away, please.
Yeah, they're all done. They're all done? Yeah. Wow, I actually think he's beautiful. Look at them.
These are
Our
baby
cakes!
I'm so proud
of them.
It's so hard not to just slice into one and try it, you know?
I think today went really well. There are a couple of mishaps, but I think we saved it, so I think we did okay.
So I don't think you can tell that they had their little incident.
Baking the base cakes is fairly easy, but my expectations for tomorrow is it's going to be a little more complicated.
It's decorating day! It's D-Day. So Chantel actually had an important meeting that she could not miss at this time. I am officially subbing in on Kristen's team.
Before you guys get started, I'm going to show you how to slice your cake so that you can stack them. So I'm going to take this little one, which is the top tier of the horchata cake, and you just take your knife and go across the middle, again turning the cake.
I love
So
how you
that is-
chose the horchata cake to be the demonstration cake.
I also
and
love this.
they don't only have 2 more to do themselves, and you already did that one for
Yeah.
them.
No, to be fair, Freddie, Jen's gonna do your cake
Yes,
too.
I'll do yours too.
Who's complaining now?
I'm just calling it how I see it.
All right, I'm gonna cut this cake.
Do it.
It's happening. Oh God, please let this be okay.
It actually seems like it's going pretty well, Kristen.
Do not say things are going well. That's how things go bad. Close the fuck enough.
So you guys are going to frost like you're practicing.
This isn't a peanut butter and jelly, Devin. This is professional wedding cake, so I gotta get my schmear game on point.
Chantel is here now.
Oh, look who showed up.
Hey! Oh! So Chantel, here you go. Think fast. That's you.
This is when you use your straws to kind of, and you don't want them to pop up.
How about I'll cut them, and then do you want to
Place them in.
place them in?
This is the architecture part of the cake making, where I feel like an architecture of yum. It's coming together just like
Children.
Little flower station.
Babies.
I like how whenever we are talking to pastries together, it always sounds like we're talking to a child or a dog.
So guys, we're about to add our final layer. It's happening. Should we get a drum roll?
And we're gonna do it together. Ooh.
There we go. Yeah.
You can hold this around the edge and spin it, and it'll clean it up for you really easy.
I mean, this cake does look rustic.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This
It's
one,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but I think that's sort of in style right now.
We are decorating our cake with fruit.
So you can cut it into a little heart by making a triangle, cut out the white part, and they look like little hearts, and you can put them up against this like that.
Okay, we did it.
We made like 6 baseball teams worth of flowers.
I love you.
So what happens is
Wait, did you eat one?
Oh, she brought us a strawberry.
Calm down. Calm down, Kristen.
Should we try our beginning cascade?
Yep.
Which one should, now there's too many. I'm like, I don't even know which one to start with.
Go for it.
This one, sure.
I feel like we're playing really high stakes Jenga here.
Kristen cut out these little hearts. We can put them as a little bouquet on the top as like a centerpiece.
All right, we're done.
Right.
Going in the fridge.
So many extra flowers.
And you were so mad thinking I ate one.
So we made it. We brought our cakes down to the BuzzFeed cafeteria. We've invited some friends to come try our cakes and to judge our cakes based on presentation and taste. I'm sweating.
I'm nervous.
Yes.
Yes. Shall we open it up, you guys?
Yeah, I think
Let's do
it's
it.
Let there be cake.
So that's red velvet, that's horchata.
Wow.
Are those roses made of fondant?
Yes, they are made of fondant.
Was it homemade fondant? Store-bought.
Store-bought fondant. Is this paper or sugar?
It's sugar paper, both, Nikki.
Yeah, edible paper.
Kind of brownish.
Made those hearts.
It's like fruit roll-up color.
Yeah, it's like old blended fruit.
Everybody, this is Ray.
Visually, I think both cakes were presented really well. I will say though, with the red velvet cake, it could have been a little bit more red. My only issue with this cake was there's not enough contrast, and the flowers were store-bought.
I'm Nikki. I got married 4 months ago, so I'm very experienced with wedding cake shopping. Someone's obviously very up to trend here. Naked cakes are very trendy. Everyone has one. I had a naked cake at my wedding. But also, like, classic romance and elegance never fades. So we've got 2 very opposite styles here.
All of our friends have judged based on presentation, visual. Now, all that's left is to cut. Grab a hand, grab the phone.
It's like a horrible Ouija board.
Hey, gals. I do.
Hey! Let's stop.
There.
delicious.
Looks good, all right.
Pretty solid. Yeah, not bad.
Kind of reminds me of just like spring or summertime.
A little bitter, actually. I feel like there might be a little too much cocoa powder.
If it were me, I would like it to be a little deeper red and more chocolate flavored.
The horchata cake is a little dense, and the frosting is really sweet.
Ooh, it's very cinnamony.
Top to bottom horchata. Winner, horchata for lunch.
I'm judging these based off of a wedding perspective. This is red velvet. Very light and refreshing. Horchata flavor. Now I'm torn, okay? Because aesthetically, this was my vibe. Taste-wise though, damn, this is so good.
Wow, I was not prepared for the amount of A game these judges brought today.
Yes, that was nerve-wracking.
They got eye level. Like they said,
Yes.
and then they rotated.
I wanted to scream who asked you like a bunch of times, and then I remembered that we asked.
You guys did great for a first time, considering you guys didn't know how to use mixing bowls and all that stuff. I mean, you improved a lot in a couple days, in a couple hours.
So the votes were tallied by our first AD.
Tight race, ladies.
Was it tight?
Was it tight?
A little bit, yeah.
The winner is Horchata with 117.5, and following up was Red Velvet with 105.5.
Congratulations, Jen, because both your cakes are winners.
Yes.
Both your recipes are winners.
Thank you,
Guys, today was hard.
It was really hard. I'm slap happy. It was so hard.
We are so tired.
Environment and elements is very important when you're baking a cake. Environment matters.
When you're making a wedding cake, it's for someone's biggest day of their life. So the decoration has to be on point.
And if you make mistakes, just slap some frosting on it. That's literally what I did.
That's it. Great.
No, I learned lots of things, but I think that's the most important thing I learned.
It's hard putting so much like heart and soul into something and you don't know what it's going to turn out until the very, very end.
These are very labor intensive. Baking is very hard. Anyone that can bake well deserves a huge amount of props.
It's so much more than just following a recipe.
Yeah.
It's science, it's architecture.
It's talent.
It's every...
It's skill.
It's design. It's like having...
every subject.
I think you guys did a great job. I mean, it's not easy, especially for the first time. So you guys did really good.
Thank you, Jen.
That's so nice of you to say.
So what do you think, Jen? Could we combine both of these cakes into one giant cake ball?
Yeah, let's do it.
Baking wedding cakes.
Lady tasted?
Lady, I do!
Yay!
Let's finish eating this.
Yeah.
Yeah.